Hey there, folks. We are here ready to tackle a topic that might sound as exciting as watching paint dry industrial relations. But trust me, this stuff is important. It's about the relationship between employers and employees. And let's be honest, that can get messy. Think of it like a reality TV show. But instead of fighting over roses, it's about wages, working conditions, and who gets the corner office. Now, you might be thinking, John, why should I care about this? Well, whether you're a high-flying CEO, a hard-working employee, or just someone who enjoys a functioning society, industrial relations affects us all. It's about ensuring fairness, productivity, and a stable economy. Plus, it's way more interesting than it sounds, especially when you throw in some labor strikes, union battles, and legal showdowns. So buckle up as we delve into the wild world of industrial relations, exploring the key players, the rules of the game, and why it's crucial to get this right. We'll be taking a trip around the globe with a special focus on the beautiful country of Nepal and its evolving labor landscape. Get ready for some eye-opening insights, a dash of humor, and maybe even a few surprises along the way. All right, let's break this down. Industrial relations is basically the system that governs how employers and employees interact. It's the backbone of any workplace, ensuring that both parties know their rights and responsibilities. It's like the operating system of the workplace, setting the ground rules for everything from hiring and firing to pay and benefits. Without it, the workplace would be chaotic and unmanageable. Now, this system is built on several key components. Each of these components plays a crucial role in maintaining harmony and productivity in the workplace. First up, we've got labor laws. These laws are the foundation upon which industrial relations are built. These are the legal frameworks that dictate the do's and don'ts of the employment relationship. They ensure that both employers and employees are treated fairly and justly. Think of them as the 10 commandments of the workplace, covering things like minimum wage, working hours, and safety standards. They set the minimum standards that must be met to ensure a safe and fair working environment. Then there's collective bargaining, which is basically group negotiations between employers and unions representing workers. This process is essential for ensuring that workers have a voice in the workplace. It's like a game of tug-of-war, but instead of a rope, they're fighting over wages, benefits, and working conditions. Both sides pull and push until they reach a compromise that works for everyone. Next, we have employment contracts, which are legally binding agreements between individual employees and their employers, outlining the terms of employment. These contracts provide clarity and security for both parties. These contracts are like prenuptial agreements for the workplace, spelling out who gets what in case things go south. They help prevent misunderstandings and disputes down the line. And let's not forget about trade unions, those champions of the working class who band together to fight for better conditions and fairer treatment. They play a vital role in advocating for workers' rights and ensuring that their voices are heard. They're like the avengers of the workplace, assembling to take on unfair labor practices and advocate for workers' rights. Without them, many workers would be left without a voice. Finally, we have dispute resolution mechanisms, which are basically ways to settle disagreements without resorting to all-out war. These mechanisms are crucial for maintaining peace and harmony in the workplace. These can range from informal mediation to formal arbitration, providing a platform for employers and employees to hash out their differences and find common ground. They help prevent conflicts from escalating and ensure that both parties can work together effectively. So there you have it, the nuts and bolts of industrial relations. It's a complex system with many moving parts, but each part is essential for keeping the workplace running smoothly. It's a complex system with a lot of moving parts, but it's all about finding a balance between the needs of employers and employees. When done right, it creates a fair, productive, and harmonious workplace for everyone involved. Now, let's zoom in on Nepal, a country known for its stunning Himalayas and its rapidly evolving economy. In 2017, Nepal took a major step in its industrial relations journey by introducing the Labour Act. This new law aimed to modernize the country's labour landscape and bring it in line with international standards. Think of it as a much-needed software update for Nepal's workplace operating system. So, what's so special about this Labour Act? Well, for starters, it introduced some significant changes like provisions for written employment contracts, a minimum wage, and regulations on working hours. It also strengthened protections for workers' rights, including freedom of association, the right to collective bargaining, and safeguards against discrimination and exploitation. However, like any major change, the implementation of the Labour Act has come with its fair share of challenges. There have been concerns about enforcement, awareness among both employers and employees, and the capacity of institutions to handle labour disputes effectively. It's like trying to install the latest software on an outdated computer. You need to make sure the hardware can keep up. Despite these hurdles, the Labour Act represents a significant step forward for Nepal's industrial relations landscape. It has the potential to create a fairer, more transparent and ultimately more productive work environment for everyone involved. But it's an ongoing process requiring continuous dialogue, collaboration and a commitment to making it work for all stakeholders. Section 4. Unitarism. We're all in this together, or are we? Now let's dive into the fascinating world of industrial relations theories, starting with unitarism. This theory is one of the cornerstones of understanding workplace dynamics and offers a unique perspective on how organizations can function. Imagine a workplace where everyone sings Kumbaya around a campfire, all working together in perfect harmony. It's a vision of unity and collective effort, where every individual feels valued and part of a cohesive team. That's the utopian ideal of unitarism, where employers and employees are seen as one big, happy family, all striving towards the same goal: organizational success. The idea is that everyone is on the same page, working towards shared objectives without any friction. In a unitarist world, conflict is seen as a big no-no, a sign that something has gone wrong. The belief is that if everyone is aligned with the organization's goals, there should be no reason for disputes or disagreements. It's like finding a cockroach in your perfectly organized kitchen. It just shouldn't be there. Any sign of conflict is viewed as an anomaly, something that needs to be addressed immediately to restore harmony. Unitarists believe that everyone should share the same values and goals, and any disagreements should be resolved through open communication and a shared sense of purpose. The emphasis is on dialogue and mutual understanding to maintain a peaceful work environment. Now, while this might sound lovely in theory, in reality, it can be a bit more complicated. The real world is messy, and people have different perspectives, needs, and motivations that can lead to conflicts. Critics argue that unitarism can be used to suppress dissent and maintain the status quo, benefiting employers more than employees. They suggest that this approach can mask underlying issues and prevent genuine dialogue about workplace problems. It's like that friend who always wants to avoid conflict, even when it means sweeping important issues. This avoidance can lead to unresolved tensions and a lack of trust among team members. Furthermore, unitarism often fails to acknowledge the inherent power imbalances that exist in the workplace. These imbalances can create an environment where employees feel they cannot speak up or challenge decisions. It's like trying to have a fair fight between a Chihuahua and a Great Dane. The playing field is just not there. The power dynamics are skewed, making it difficult for true equality to be achieved. So while the idea of a harmonious workplace is certainly appealing, unitarism might be a bit too simplistic to capture the complexities of real-world industrial relations. The theory provides a starting point, but it needs to be adapted and expanded to address the diverse and dynamic nature of modern workplaces. Section 5. Pluralism. Different strokes for different folks. Next up, we have pluralism, the cool, older sibling of unitarism. Pluralism is like that wise friend who understands that life isn't black and white, but filled with shades of grey. Pluralism recognizes that employers and employees have different interests and goals. It acknowledges that these differences are natural and should be addressed openly. It's like realizing that your significant other might not actually enjoy watching back-to-back episodes of your favorite reality TV show. Shocking, I know. Instead of forcing them to watch, you find a compromise. Maybe alternating between shows you both like. Instead of trying to pretend everyone is on the same page, pluralism acknowledges that conflict is inevitable and even healthy. It's about embracing these differences and using them to foster growth and innovation. It's like a good old-fashioned debate. It can lead to better solutions and a more balanced outcome. When people with different viewpoints come together, they can challenge each other and refine their ideas. Pluralists believe that the best way to manage these differences is through collective bargaining and negotiation, allowing both sides to have their say and reach a compromise. This process ensures that all voices are heard and considered. Think of it like a game of chess, where each side has different pieces with different strengths and weaknesses. Each move is strategic, aiming to outmaneuver the opponent while respecting the rules of the game. The key is to understand your opponent's moves and find a way to outmaneuver them while still playing by the rules. This strategic approach helps in finding innovative solutions that benefit both parties. Pluralism encourages open communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to compromise, recognizing that a win-win solution is often possible. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels valued and heard. However, pluralism is not without its critics. Some believe that it can lead to inefficiencies and prolonged conflicts. Some argue that it can lead to a focus on narrow self-interest, with each side trying to get as much as possible for themselves. This can sometimes result in a deadlock where no progress is made. It's like a family arguing over who gets the last slice of pizza. Things can get messy. But even in these messy situations, there's an opportunity to learn and grow. But despite its limitations, pluralism offers a more realistic and pragmatic approach to managing the complexities of industrial relations, acknowledging that different perspectives and interests are not only inevitable, but also valuable. By embracing these differences, organizations can create a more dynamic and resilient work environment.